It's a jam-packed Saturday in Tempe, Arizona. Sporting events going on all around campus, but we're indoors, where today the Utah Utes roll into the Valley of the Sun in search of their 7th straight win. But the upset-minded Sun Devils of Arizona State look to break that streak today, trying to pick up their 7th straight win this afternoon in the desert. Arizona State in the white, Utah in their road blacks, and we start off with ASU owning possession.
Let's call them in the pink.
Yes, the pink is popping for Arizona State. It's the breast cancer awareness game. Skinner from the mid-range, right on cue, couldn't get it to go. And an early rebound for Maye Touré, 6'3" graduate student out of France. Touré, pump fake and a drive inside. The athleticism being shown off early. It's been an issue for Arizona State all year long in Arnesia. We've talked about it, keeping opponents off of the free throw line. In fact, one of the worst in the country at doing that. Natasha Adair, the head coach for Arizona State in her 3rd year overall, former head coach at Delaware and Georgetown, as the free throw goes down for Touré, and Utah on the scoreboard first. And you mentioned those pink unis. It's a sharp look for Arizona State.
These look good. I actually was talking to a few former teammates earlier today. We were reminiscing on the pink jerseys we got to wear, and we prefer these.
You're envious.
Not envious, but we're happy to see that they didn't have to endure.
Early two for Jaylen Brown, the Sun Devils' leading scorer at nearly 18 points per game. In the first meeting against Utah in December, she had 22. Here's a wing triple for Kennady McQueen, one of the best three-point shooters in all of college basketball, 42%. And she is a Ute through and through. She's very close to breaking the all-time record for games played in the program. As an offensive foul there will go against Kennedy Basham, who is trying to set the screen for Skinner. The head coach for the Utah Utes, Gavin Peterson. What a year it's been for Coach Peterson. He was the associate head coach for 5 years. Of course, Lynn Roberts left midway through the non-conference portion of the season to take the Los Angeles Sparks job in the WNBA. It was a whirlwind moment for really this entire program. All they've done is responded in a big way. 16-4 is Coach Peterson's record so far. Yeah, seamless transition. In fact, just over a week after he took the job, they beat the #3 team in the country in Notre Dame. Yeah. Just goes to show them banding together. Jaya Levesque knocks down a 3 right in front of the Utes bench. Skip pass, open 3, Kneepkens, automatic. That was a great find, but due to injuries, especially now that Fauntleroy is out of the folds, Moore not only getting more minutes, but starting in this one.
Yeah, Arizona State has had to fight through a few different, and they're trying to keep it cleaner than the normal game.
Michael McConnell, Michael Murray, and Jamie Broderick are officials in this Saturday matinee. Here's Kneepkens off the dribble, kick out to Ray. She can shoot it from down there. She shows off that shooting stroke, scoring over 100 points. They scored at least 23 points in every quarter of that game as Skinner misses from about 18 feet away.
Yeah, and I bet that's fueling both sides, because I would be wanting to score 100 or more again, and you definitely don't want to let that happen to you twice.
The ball movement for Utah. We talked about the points per game, the shooting percentages, but it's the ball movement that is really impressive the year going here. 10th in the country, nearly 19 assists per game. Hand back McQueen. Here's Touré, dribbling past Parkinson to the lane and off window. That's a thing of beauty.
Just box out Touré and everyone else go get the ball.
Yeah, she's been a rebounding fiend as of late for Utah, averaging 10+ rebounds over her last 4. Defending here in the post against Greer. That's a strong move, but couldn't get it to go. And there's that wingspan of Touré, leading to another board for the talented product out of France. Quick step to the basket, Kneepkens. Now Touré out, kick to the corner for McQueen. 15 to shoot, step back 3. It's automatic. Kennady McQueen.
They got a little lost and she was open.
Slow starts have been a huge facet of ASU's season, unfortunately, for the Sun Devils. That's a great move by Jaylen Brown. Got to try to get going really on this end of the floor before anything. Already down by 10 points. And Kneepkens straight to the cup. Early 12-point cushion for Utah.
You definitely can look at their shot selection too when you mention that stat, because they're not taking high percentage shots, and that's affecting them.
Moore knocks down the 3 from the wing, right on cue for Utah, and Michaela Moore will step out as well. A 3 off the inbound is rattled home, and guess who? It's Kneepkens. 4th in the country at 19 points per game, and it's shots like that where you can see why. They've just got so many different weapons, Arnesia, and it makes it really difficult to defend. There's a foul in. Chaz Jackson, the sophomore from San Diego, 4 points per game, gets the first free throw to go. And 2 overtimes at Texas Tech. While the Horned Frogs survived Oklahoma State with a 3-pointer in the last 5 seconds of that game. Catch ASU TCU coming up later tonight, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain on ESPN+. Yeah, both ASU and TCU's men's teams played in thrillers to open up their conference week. Sun Devils and Bobby Hurley looking for a much-needed victory against the Horned Frogs later tonight. 10 to shoot. One poke free. It's Masson Wilkie who will regain possession. Junior from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Late in the shot clock. Kick to the corner. It's Ross driving baseline and scoring. There was no help side defense for the Devils, and Ross, who had a big game against ASU in the first meeting, had 19 off the bench, scores Hurley here. Really good job by Utah playing through that. It gets a little stressful when you start hearing the time countdown, but they were so calm, and they found the absolute best shot that they could have found. 27 seconds of that possession, and it does not matter. Utah shooting 62% from the floor in this opening quarter, and now they'll turn it over as that pass from Johnson in the first meeting, Arnesia. Utah scored at least 23 points in every quarter against ASU the first meeting. Look where they sit. Right on track. Right on track. Here's Skinner. Tough shot from the wing. A little heavy, no good, and it takes us to the end of the opening quarter. Saturday, Roberts told Peterson, okay, look, I'm leaving for this job. You're going to be the head coach. Sunday, the AD, Mark Harlan, offered that head coaching job to Gavin Peterson, not the interim role, but the head coaching job. Monday, they play against McNeese State. They win. Then the team is told about all of this on Tuesday after that win. I mean, it was a whirlwind of a week for Utah. It's an easy layup to start the second quarter by Brooke Walker, a freshman who's really trying to step into a role off the bench for the Utes. Yeah, that is a lot for any team, but especially you would see it on a team who doesn't have as strong of a foundation as Utah clearly had coming into this season. Yeah, and this is a program that really has proven to be one of the more consistent ones on the West. A scorer that averages 9 points per game, a senior for ASU, and that was an unfortunate injury for the Sun Devils. Fauntleroy is someone who really was at times that second leading scorer, or at least that third option for the majority of the conference season. Yeah, she definitely has an energy and like an essence she brings to the team when she's on the floor that keeps them energized. So I'm sure she's missed out there, but Michaela's doing a really good job of filling that role. Now they have Parkinson, the transfer from UC Irvine, nearly had it popped free. It's Jackson inside, and she's fouled on her way to the cup. It's obviously a huge loss for a team that at times, with the exception of Brown and Skinner, has struggled to find consistent scoring. We've seen it from Moore today, but yeah, ASU has had many players rotate into that role this season, and they haven't really found a solid core that can do it consistently every single game, but they do take turns for each other, which can be good as well. It's Ross here on the wing. Utes have led this thing by as many as 12. It's a step back three that's cashed home by Wilkie. Although they won't be shooting free throws here. We're not wrong. A near turnover that will actually end up going Utah's way. I was excited to see Kennady McQueen because I think if Utah is going to make a run, whether it be in the Big 12 tournament or in the NCAA tournament, McQueen's going to have to play big just like that. Right on cue, corner three, Kennady McQueen. I had a feeling she was going to make your point for you there. That was perfect. Made up for our free throw blunder a moment ago. Utes on top by 13. Here's Brown. 6 points so far in the day for her, 3 of 6 from the floor, and she flails down. Going forward, and if it's the Utah players that are. 2 as well on Brooke Walker. 1 of 2 from the line for Jalen Brown. While the fouls could play a factor, ASU's got to start getting stops or else they're going to get down by so much it won't matter. Another 3 by McQueen, this time just off the mark. Hit back iron on what is a beautiful looking jump shot. And here comes Brown galloping into the front court. They definitely wouldn't lose her out there. No, you can't. It's one of those matchups you got to circle on the scouting report as Brown misses from just a step or 2 inside the 3-point line. They run it ahead. Here's Vieta. Off onto the wing, spot up Trey. Wilkie knocks down another. ASU has not made a field goal in over 4 minutes time. See if it's Brown that'll try to change that. Yeah, she's able to get inside. Euro step around a defender, but missed it. Moore got it back off to Jackson. Extra find to Skinner. She'll pop the tough three and splash it home over the top of Vieta. Skinner with a bit of a heat check there, but early in the shot clock, maybe not the best look they could have gotten.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it really does help recruit. Might seem like a small thing, and some of the old heads may roll their eyes, but...
My God, I might be an old head. I never really...
No, because you said you liked it. Skinner will have a chance at a three.
Yeah, something she has been good at this season that we and her team does expect her to do, for her to knock it down and get to the free throw line. It's really tough that Arizona State cannot... And, oh, that was good.
A turnover here. 6th on Utah. Here's Brown. Top 2 will go. Arizona State's got this thing back down to within 7. An 8-0 run for the Sun Devils. Going to stay in it with the Utes, and that won't help. A big 3 by Kneepkens.
Either not getting the rebound or not able to secure the ball, and then they have to reset and play that same defense again and again. And it really does start to wear on you the more you do that.
Big 3 by Ty Skinner right back at him. Sun Devils now 3 of their last 3 from the floor. Skinner with 9 points. 7-point margin. It's a 2-man game right now. Skinner against Kneepkens. Mano-y-mano. 14-6 for Kneepkens in this first half. Well on her way to reaching her season average of 19. Skinner says, okay, my turn. Who has been playing really well so far in this game. Take pride in the legacy that has paved the way for the rights and freedoms we have today. I mean, that's summed up really well by a Sun Devil that is really well spoken. And Ty Skinner understands that. She's been with Natasha Adair throughout her entire college career, starting off at Delaware before transferring to Arizona State when Adair got the job here a few years ago. And a great quote there from Skinner. 8-point game, just under 2 minutes to go first half. It's been a wildly entertaining and high-scoring first half where the pace has been torrid all the way through. No foul call, but an easy putback as the shot clock expires for Jenna Johnson.
There's Sun Devils, looks like they wanted some kind of call to reset, but you'd have to get the rebound and secure the ball.
10 of the 15 field goals made for Utah so far in this first half have been threes. As Brown off balance couldn't finish. Nice rebound by McQueen. Utah's looking to run. Thrown ahead, Kneepkens ahead of the pack. And what a find by McQueen. Yeah, it's got to be tough. I mean, ASU is used to playing at a pace like this offensively, but when you face someone that not only plays at this pace, but then also whips the ball around like Utah does, it will be tiring, even at this point of the year where we're almost done with the regular season.
And not even on the defensive end. Arizona State is having to work really hard to get their baskets on offense as well.
11 threes in the first half is McQueen. I mean, she's rolling right now, Arnesia. 4 of 6 from downtown.
Yeah, contrary to that, they're just finding these threes out there.
They're shooting the lights out of the basketball. They lead it by 15. They had that lull offensively midway through this quarter. Let's say they've woke up from their siesta. Slavette from 17 feet, got it to go. Good looking jumper from Jaya Levette.
Levette is always good for those pull-up jumpers inside.
Utah already at a season high in threes made in a game. Believe it or not. We said 11 of the 17 they've made.
Going over their screens and cuts would be huge for Arizona State just to...
Kneepkens' numbers there. I mean, she's one of the best scorers, one of the best shooters in the country. We said it earlier on. And she is guiding her team to a lovely lead at the hat. Losing Lynn Roberts, who had guided this program to great heights over the last couple of years. But Gavin Peterson has this squad rolling. There was some question whether or not the Utes maybe would have a little bit of a letdown before they face number 20 Oklahoma State in their next game in Salt Lake City. So far, through 20 minutes, not the case. But they got to close out ASU as we're underway in the third quarter. It's Brown inside. No good off glass. Basham's back in there for ASU. Played just 4 minutes in the opening half. Picked up 2 early fouls. And same could be said for Teray, who had 2 early fouls. And now a reach. Yeah, Basham, who at times this year, unfortunately for Arizona State, has fallen into this trap of early foul trouble. And it's so hard when you barely played in the first half to now come back in and try to find that rhythm, find that form. Never really found it in the early going. Here's a three, and right on cue, a new season high for the Utes. It's Vieira knocking down a triple. It's Brown now. Swivels underneath. Basham. No good off window. Offensive board. Missed the putback. And an empty trip for Arizona State.
They're having a tough time finding good shots down there. It almost seems like they're playing one-on-one versus Utah.
Right. What a move inside. That is just gorgeous. Off to Moore. On the wing for Skinner. Johnson fell down, got back up, and stood like a brick wall. Skinner will have to hoist and miss it wildly.
And also, we said it before, but shot selection is huge. And right now, Utah's shot selection is outside. That's why they're being able to say they're making good decisions. But
20 now for Kneepkens. Sun Devils 0 of 6 from the floor to start this third quarter. Lovette. Tough shot, and got it. She's really solid at that mid-range spot inside the arc. And 6 points now for Lovette.
Yeah, one dribble, two dribble pull-ups for Dry Lovette are always good shots for her.
It's her move. Johnson, backdoor cut baseline. Oh, it's a thing of beauty again, and it's Kneepkens up to 22. She's got a double-double with 10 boards as well. It's like a symphony watching this offense. And they're in rhythm, and they have been all day long. Brown from 17. 11 now for Brown, matching Skinner, the only two in double figures. They don't get back defensively, and why not? Kneepkens again. It's like a no-huddle offense.
It's the best offense, really. You don't have to think, just throw it up, lay up.
56% from the floor now for Utah. All of their offensive records from the season seeming to be in danger of falling today. Brown scores her second consecutive field goal.
Arizona State seems to be really comfortable in that mid-range, mid-spot. I think they should keep trying to run their offense from that position.
Here's Vieira. Into the corner, look out, another. McQueen got it! Impressive three-point performances. You think back to what Iowa State did here in the desert against Arizona State, but honestly, this is blowing that out of the water. And starting to approach record books. Another break, 3-on-2. Kick out, could she do it again? You bet she can! Sixth triple for McQueen. It's a monsoon for the Utes. They wrap up with Belmont, 6:30 Mountain, all of them on ESPN+. So what I advise, if you're a fan of Arizona State, you get the quad box going. Update you on a couple of stats that we gave you earlier, including a correction I need to make. I messed up. Season high for threes for Utah, 16. So they haven't surpassed it yet. I thought 11 was low. I double-checked my work, and I'm not sure what I was looking at. It's actually 16. I said it against UCF a couple of games ago. McQueen is close to her career high, which is at 22. Right now, Kennady McQueen at 20. Here's Teray. Spin cycle, cut off, throws up a wild shot, and a foul is...
As much as you want to suck up to them inside, you have to give them a little bit of space so that...
Teray's done a really good job in this game with a quick first step. It has made it tough, whether it was Basham or Parkinson.
Yes, she's closing that space, but yeah,
why not another three? Wilkie, no. And a reach-in foul will go against Teray.
What I was talking about, leading players having to leave the game.
Luckily for Utah right now, as it stands, they've got plenty of cushion. It's Brown. Pull up, off the mark. Program record for Utah, by the way, 21 threes. So they're still a ways off of that. 7 away from tying with just over a quarter to go.
Do you know what year they did that?
2023.
Oh.
In November of 23 against South Carolina State.
Okay.
You want the date as well? November 19th.
Yes. Oh, okay.
I don't know what I was doing that day. Brown will drive inside. Finger roll will go. Jalen Brown up to 15 points. Inbound here for Vieira. can pop. Welcome to the action, Samantha Crisp. Shooting's contagious. She just entered the game for the first time and immediately buries the 15th three of the game for the Utes.
I'm sure she was visualizing that from the bench.
Yeah, well, you see it so much.
You know, they say visualization is half.
Wow, that was a Zen Master type quote. 4 of the conference. Who knows who the conference regular season champ will be? Utah still in play for that as well. I mean, everything's still on the table. Love the way Ross describes her game. She says, look, I know I'm not the most skilled player. Bulldog, that pit bull. We got a Tyrannosaurus Rex playing Twister. Okay, it wouldn't be a game at DFA if we didn't show the curtain of distraction as Levette buries along 2. Crisp onto the wing for Wilkie. Rolls around a pick. Nice, beautiful pass right back to Crisp.
It's hard to stop.
I mean, there's just been a highlight reel of offense, whether the backdoor baseline cut, that simple pick and roll, the action to lead to the easy layup early on in this quarter. Just in this quarter alone for Utah, there have been some clinical sets. So Skinner back to the line, 11 points, 3 of 11 from the floor. And the first free throw, Desert Financial Arena. The Cougars lead the Big 12 at 12-1. At least they were heading into this day. And you want to talk about a top-heavy and loaded Big 12 conference for the women's side. Same can be said on the men's side. Here's Brooke Walker. They'll kick out another 3. Why not another? And it's Wilkie capping off a magical day for Utah through 3 quarters. 16 triples through 30 minutes of play. Yeah, without a doubt. And for Utah, like I said, a chance to still add on to that resume. We're going to play at West Virginia in 11 days' time in Morgantown. Here's Vieta. Using the pivot foot, missed everything. Utah shot 60% from the floor in that third quarter, 5 of 9 from 3. Trying to challenge that program record of threes, which is 21 right now. See if they can hit number 17. That's a good start. It's Crisp, who's now 2 of 2 from 3.
You know, well, teams are gonna get shots, and I know they're getting shots and they're hitting them, but what hurts is that it's not even always their first shot.
Offensive foul. It'll be Vieta to inbound this from the baseline. Just a minute into the fourth quarter. All Utes. Interesting part, in the first meeting between these two teams, it was Utah bludgeoning ASU in the painted area. They had 52 points in the paint in that matchup. Maybe that's a reason why ASU started playing it. Well, and it's such an experienced team. Really only Brooke Walker, the only freshman who gets main minutes. Reese Ross, a sophomore. But besides that, it's juniors and seniors throughout for Utah. And those are the kind of plays where the experience pays off. You could see that Wilkie kind of read that trouble was looming. Nearly got the layup to go that time. Cut to the basket at the right time. Skinner knocks down another. 17 now for Ty Skinner, leading the way for ASU. Arizona State trailing by 28. Their largest home loss of the year was 30 against West Virginia. This is a foul on the inside. Wilkie will go back to the line. Out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. I have no idea what we're looking at here. I don't want to even describe it. Well, this is such a tough league. There are no easy games, if you will. Basham, that's a nice post move, but couldn't finish. And that's kind of been the day so far for Basham. 0 of 4, mired by foul trouble. Played just 13 minutes. Here's Teray. Started off the game really well. Hooks herself around Basham and lays it up and in. An easy bucket for Teray, who's now up into the double-figure club with 10.
And you called it there, her hook around. That's the space that she's closing that Kennedy or whoever's going against Teray needs to give her so that they can keep her in front. Otherwise, it's just a really quick spin, easy basket, yeah.
Well, and it's one of those things as well. You'll get that call sometimes as a defender. That's a hard foul. And
yeah, she's not someone I would want to play against.
No. and I think
mosquito.
Her value, and that is her role, and she knows it so well. First free throw by Ross is good. I got your point. I've definitely seen the saying.
The sum of each part is the whole, but that's huge, and that's huge. And it's not downplaying anybody's contribution to the team at all, but that's how you assemble a team. Everybody does their job.
McQueen will drive and kick, thrown down low. Look at this ball movement yet again. I mean, it's just gorgeous terrain. 4:25 to go from Desert Financial Arena in Tempe. Brayton Bell, Arnesia Hawkins on the call, and the Utes just continue to add on to their lead. Kennedy Basham hits her first field goal of the day, but Utah outscoring Arizona State 13-6 now in this fourth quarter. And remember that point total of 23 per quarter? They're now 7 of 7 against ASU this year, hitting at least 23 points. They did so in the first matchup. I'm going to go ahead and guess that Gavin Peterson and none of those players, they have no idea that is a thing, nor do they care. Back-to-back field goals for Basham. They're just happy they're in front, and they get to hop on a charter, fly back to snowy and cold Salt Lake City, where I understand it's been dumping buckets of snow over the past couple of days. A 3 by Wilkie. Why not another? 16 points now for the junior.
Going back to the snows definitely is the worst part, I'm sure.
Yes, it's humbling. Layup won't go for Brown, and a foul will be called on our production staff centered back in Kansas City.
Yeah.
See, now that's an immediate no for me.
This is why all of my friends get upset with me if I post that I need a fire in 60-degree weather.
Well, the funny part is yesterday, in full transparency, I was doing baseball over at Phoenix Muni. I brought 3 jackets, and it did not get below 60.
You brought 3?
I didn't use them, but I brought them.
That's hilarious.
Sad. I'm a native Utah, 18-year-old me would be. That doesn't come into play. Here's Brown. Couldn't finish. Basham was fouled, and 2 more. And I fear that's maybe what's making it, what's going to make it even worse for our friends. Genuinely hurts to walk outside.
That's what I hear.
Like Chicago, obviously the Windy City. It's Walker now driving and kicking out. Stay tuned for more weather updates after the game. We'll have a special podcast. Consistency. That's the name of her game. Did Reese Reed. Between the ages of 7 and 13, there you see Utah as the 6th seed projected right now, but we've already told you a bunch of times they could potentially move up in terms of, you know, their seed line.
Obviously, it's obvious when you're not in that position, but just every game counts.
Basham's had a solid closeout to this ball game. And another foul is called. If they were to have continued at the same pace with the normal personnel out there, if you will. 17 points in 19 minutes for Wilkie. Just the second block today for Utah. Basham out of control and couldn't hit. Sal pulled down the board. This building will fill up in just over 2 hours for the men's game. Talk a lot about TCU's women's team. It'll be the men's team. In what was a wild game that TCU came back and ended up winning DFA doubleheader. Both teams had close calls. Here's Brown. Utah can dribble out the clock if they so choose. Well, the Utes, they've got more offensive firepower than just about anyone in the country. And they had it all rolling today in Tempe. 53% from the floor. They hit 18 threes at a 56% clip. And they stormed past Arizona State to win their 7th straight. 98-62 the final score. The Utes appear to be rocking and rolling at the right time of the year.